even though network was a kind of fluctuating. But we really appreciate you for that prayer. God bless you in Jesus' name. All right. I want to thank every one of us, especially for being around. And so sorry we had a glitch with our YouTube. Don't know why it happened, but we've been able to rectify it though. So trusting God that subsequently we'll be making do with it by God's grace. So over to what we are going to be looking in today, understanding algorithm. I think you can everyone can do well to just go back to just take a screenshot of the class, even though we are four, and just paste in the group shortly, and so that everyone can know that we are live. All right, as I'll be doing the introductory for the session. Thank you very much. So, understanding the algorithm. It's a very important subject, and one of the reasons for that is the age we are in right now is completely controlled. Everything we are doing is completely controlled. All right, and we need to understand how all of these things work, and so that you can make do of it, one, to your advantage, and two, run from the disadvantage. Have you ever asked yourself, why is Facebook free? Let me know. Is there anyone that can help us know? Answer us. Why is Facebook free? Why is Facebook free? Have you ever thought about that? Facebook, WhatsApp, it's completely free at the facial level. Can someone please help us? Why? Is there anyone that can just give a try why you think it's free? All right, anyone? Please, can we still hear me? Okay, okay. So, is there anyone that wants to go first? Just maybe one person just trying to tell us, or maybe you've not thought about it, then you can either type or say, I've not thought about it, then I'll know, okay, 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 okay. Or maybe you've thought about it, but maybe you don't have an answer. So, by God's grace, I'm going to be bringing answers to some of these things by the grace of God. So, let me know. Have you ever thought, why is Facebook free? Has it ever occurred to you? Okay, okay. Okay, but most this I've not thought about. Okay, Sir Comfort, go ahead, ma'am. Yeah, good evening, ma'am. Yeah. All right. Okay, wow. Thank you very, very much for that input. Thank you, Bro Moses, and thank you so much for that input. Um, all right, let me give an answer to that. I think that's Bro Che. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome, sir. Welcome, Pastor, sir. So let me give an answer to that. You really gave a good perspective. Now, I want you to know that there is actually nothing that is free. So, and I want you to also get this second perspective that when you are using a free product, when you are using a free product, then you are the product that is sold. I will explain that. Whenever you are using a free product, then you are the product that is sold. Now, this is how Facebook works. Not just Facebook, but the whole social media of a thing. What they are buying and taking from us is a form of currency. There are basically about three forms of currency basically three forms of currency. The first form is attention, in no specific order: attention, energy, and time. There are a lot of other forms, but I would just want to major in these three: attention, energy, and time. All right. So, and the currency that you are paying, which is a quota of your life, is just as though we are using our blood. Yes, you understand this as we go on. It's just as if you are using your blood to pay for using Facebook. So the currency you are using to pay Facebook or every other social media handles is your attention currency. So what is attention currency? If you notice, let me now use YouTube. If you notice, for example, when you are watching YouTube, at least every 10, 8 to 10 minutes, depending, you will always see an advert pop up on your screen. Have you noticed it? If you have noticed it, let me know in the chat board, or you can let me know if you've noticed it. You always notice that there is something that will pop up, and it's getting more weird. If you are using some applications such as vidmate, you always see somebody telling you that I borrowed 300 naira, 300,000 naira, I'm going to pay 400,000 naira, and someone will say, why are you paying 400,000, and so on. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that? Now, all these things are programmed. All these things are programmed. They are already aligned to buy a quotient of your time. Now, your time, my time, our attention has been paid for completely by advertisers. And who are these advertisers? The advertisers are people that pop up these things on our screen. You know, when the Bible was speaking in the book of Hosea chapter 4 verse 6, I'm going to read that scripture. Hosea chapter 4 verse 6. The Bible says, my people perish, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to, to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy children, I will also forget thy children. Now, my major emphasis is the first part of being perished. Message version say, my people are ruined because they do not know. They do not know. Let me stop at that point. They are ruined because they did not know. So, we are paying heavily, even though we are not subscribing for Facebook, we are not subscribing for Instagram, we don't subscribe for all of these other things. But although YouTube now has a premium subscription, but even though we don't subscribe directly, we are paying heavily for our time. We are paying heavily with our attention. And that's the most important thing. Do you know that as you are giving your attention to anything, is a quotient of your life that is being going down? So I'm not saying we don't use it. For me, I use it very well. And secondly, have you taken statistics of the number of time you spend on these things? I was able to check my tracker one of the days. My phone has a way it tracks it from one of the features. I noticed that I literally spend nothing less than 4, depending. It ranges from 3, 4, 5 hours on WhatsApp alone. That's just WhatsApp. That's WhatsApp. Now, how about my YouTube? How about my Facebook? So I want you to narrow it down to yourself as well. What is the quotient of time we spend on these things? In recent statistics, it has come to be discovered when you are using Netflix. I was able to get this information. When you are using Netflix and you watch it for the next 30 seconds, they have about, I think, 60,000 bits of your metadata. Now, this is what I mean. When you use all of these social media, they have access to, at least when you stay on them, at least for the first 30 seconds, they have at least 6,000 bits access to your data. They know the kind of music you love, they know the kind of foods you love. Facebook knows your family members, Facebook knows your location, Facebook knows your future aspiration. Facebook knows, I'm just trying to use Facebook now. Facebook knows a lot about you, more than you think you know. Do you see that little camera that is on your phone? the cameras, if you notice, every phone now that's coming out has a camera at the front. You think it's just for selfie? No, 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 no. It's not just for selfie. Those things are what algorithm use to capture our metadata. So they think of our metadata and they store it for future use. Now it is those data they are capturing that they now use for running adverts. I'll still come to that very briefly. Running adverts and controlling what you see on your feed. I was teaching this one of the times and I asked everyone to bring out their phone. I don't know if it can be possible for you, and check the first 5 posts you are going to see on your Facebook. If you notice, the first 5 posts you see on your Facebook is completely the kind of person you are going to be becoming in the nearest 5 to 10 years. Now, there's a reason I said that. If you check your YouTube, the first 5 to 10 reels you see, videos you see, or posts you see is directly, I mean, directly in quotes, proportional to the kind of person you are going to become in the nearest future. Why is that? All these things are what we call culture shaping. Our cultures are being shaped. Things that appear on our reel is directly what we impact in our lives. It is intentional. It is intentional. And the reason why some of these things are appearing is because these 2 things I'm going to be explaining. The first, or 3 things I'm going to be explaining. The first is that camera you are seeing that is pointing at you. If you notice, when you want to use an application, it's going to be asking you for permission for 2 things. 1, or sometimes 3. 1 is going to be asking you permission to use your camera. Some of us will not even read those things. We just say yes, 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 and you pass. That's 1. 2, it's going to ask you for permission to use your microphone. And then lastly, it's going to ask you for permission to use your location. Now, if it's a very serious app, most of them will ask you for 3, but virtually every application asks us for access to either 2, 1, 2, or 3 of these things I mentioned. So now, this is a call for concern, and I'm going to explain to you how these things work. Now, when you are watching a video, for example, let me use Netflix, YouTube, or Facebook, and as you are watching, you are smiling. The camera before you is already capturing that metadata. Is a minute. I told you it's in bits. Bit is the smallest number of data. Is the smallest measurement for the data. It's not even up to kilobytes. All right. Bit is in miniature, in tiny, in millions. Like I don't know how to, in nano sizes. So when you are watching a video, for example, and you are smiling, it is automatically capturing your informations. Is already capturing your facial expression to know that this person loves what we are showing them. So it is going to form part of the data that your algorithm is going to capture. All right. So your algorithm captures that information and then stores it in massive databases. There are large data banks where all of these things are stored. You see your microphone, the way you talk, do you notice that you can be talking about you can be discussing something, and when you come on Facebook, you are going to see suggestions around what you discuss. Let me use, for example, you are talking about maybe recent news or something. You are just talking, you are with your phone, you are talking. Do you know that there is about 70% chances, it is predictable, 70 to 80%, that you are coming online, you are going to be seeing suggestions around what you just said. That is algorithm. These things are very sensitive. Algorithms are very intelligent models that grabs your information and then it stores it in large databases. So I was saying that this social media we use knows us more than we know ourselves. So since these things are this way, how then is our security? How then is it to our advantage? And how then is it to our disadvantage? Before I go into that, I want to also bring to your notice the issues that have to do with the content that appear on your screens. Don't forget, the Bible says, my people perish because they do not know. A time came I'm going to share two scenarios. The first one was, personally, when I go to my Facebook, I notice that my stories are more of nudes like pornographic content. So now it became a concern, because whether I like it or not, your eyes have seen those things and they are captured in your heart. All right. So I was like, what's happening? And do you know that those kinds of things are already programmed by the algorithm? Now, this is what they do. Once they have gotten that most people love such kind of things, and they know that the easiest way to push it is going to be on the stories, they immediately pick this data. And how do they know? From the expression of people. There is more of, the Bible says the earth is covered with darkness and gross darkness the people. So a large number of people are enjoying such content. All right. So algorithm has gathered this information from the billions of persons. Like Facebook now, we have about approximately 2 billion users. 2 billion persons are using YouTube. Facebook. So imagine that 2 billion persons are using Facebook, and let me use the word children of light. Let me use that word. Children of light are just, let me say, 20%. So that means 80% of people enjoy seeing pornographic content. All right. So they now use that metrics to culture algorithm. It is a set of rules. So algorithm already gets that, okay, such kind of persons love this kind of content, and immediately it pushes it to every social media. All right, is an equilibrium point. Everyone is getting the same content at the same time, the same set of things. It may not be the same for every phone, but they already have a set of rules that controls all of these things. So immediately you begin to see those content. Now, there was something I discovered that began to help me. So for about 2 to 3 years, if I'm not mistaken, I began to immediately culture my algorithm. Now, this is where the message lies. You can actually culture the algorithm to the kind of person you want to become. There are ways to that. You can begin to set your algorithm to the kind of persons you want to become. Because, like I said, the 5 to 10 reels, posts, or videos you see on your Facebook and YouTube is completely the kind of person you are going to become. Because as your eyes are seeing it, it captures the picture to your heart. As your eyes begin to see some of these things, it begins to form a quotient of your perspective. Little wonder you stay, and there are some thoughts you begin to think, not because they came from nowhere. No, it's as a result of what your eyes have seen. It's as a result of maybe something you did not even subscribe for, but you saw them. So it is a call for us to be intentional. Is a call for us to be intentional about these things. And I'm going to be sharing with us how we are going to culture our algorithm. Culture it. Maybe if you scroll to your reels, you're going to be seeing some kind of unnecessary news and all of that. Sincerely, I don't used to know all of these things. Maybe when they begin to talk about some news, I don't used to know about them. It's after a while, like I'll now be hearing from people. Why? Because my algorithm does not bring such kind of things again. I have already found a way to culture these things down to what I want. So the same thing can apply to you. Maybe for your Facebook, you see that what you see is footballs. Why? It is because that is the kind of things you love. If you check through, you may be seeing, okay, maybe most of the things you do, like me that does graphics, most of the things that can be coming is graphics, because that is most of the things I click on, I watch, I look at. That is how intelligent the algorithm is. So there is an advantage to it, and there is also a quotient of disadvantage to it. We are going to be looking at that briefly. We're going to be looking at that briefly. So I want to talk about our metadatas. Briefly, I'm going to be looking at our metadatas. So I've shared my story. I'm going to share the last story. I mentioned two things. So the second story I want to share is during the pandemic, coronavirus pandemic, um, I went to a bank, Access Bank, and that was where the man I work for, that's where we go to deposit his money after the deal sales. So a certain day, I was at the bank and I was at the queue, bulk room. And so as I was at the queue, I was behind a person, someone, I was behind somebody, and as I was behind him, I noticed immediately my eyes went to his screen, and I noticed that he was on the queue and he was watching pornography. And now, the funny thing is that his whole reels as he's scrolling. The way you scroll, I was mentioning my own now that you scroll, you see graphics. For me, if you see graphics, you can see business talks, you can see financial talks, spiritual, like mixture, because of how I've controlled it for a while. All right. So as he was scrolling, I was noticing that most of the things there are pornographic content. Now, why did I mention this? It is because that's what he clicks. So maybe you've been wondering, how do I sanitize my social media? This is an answer to how God is going to help you. Maybe you've been thinking, okay, I want to be somebody that is going to be a data analyst, I want to be a business person, but most of the things I see are not in line with that. You can actually culture these things to what you want to be, to what you want to do, and they will obey you. Yes. The only thing is, maybe when you don't do anything, then they can flood you with anything. No, it's not possible. Mine no longer works that way, because after a set, don't forget, algorithm obeys a set of rules. Yes, in as much as I mentioned that we are the product that this social media are selling. Why? Because they are buying, they have access to our attentions. So we are the ones they are selling to advertisers. Who are advertisers? Advertisers are those people that brings their content to your face. Whether you like it or not, you must watch it. Maybe they will not give you 5 seconds before you can end it, and that 5 seconds they have showed you what they want to show you. Do you notice that every about 80% of advertising today is pornographic? Have you noticed that about 80% of content that are posted on the internet are pornographic? Have you noticed that about 80% of posts, a lot of things are gearing towards this angle, and it is intentional? Mark these words, it is intentional. There are people that are sat down and they are controlling all of these things. Social media is not just working. There is something that is called a server room. And inside these server rooms are a chunk of databases that controls every influx and outflux of information. So everybody is directly or indirectly associated with what they experience as a result of all of these algorithms. All right. So I mentioned that there are a set of persons that are behind the scene. Now, I'm going to recommend a movie. If you can get it, it's going to bring an opening to these things. Maybe at the end of the class, I'm going to mention it. You're going to see how people are sitting behind the scene and controls everything that goes in and out. So your data are not safe, but you can control how these things affect you. You know, when you come to WhatsApp, you see end-to-end encryption, which means it's just you and the next person. That's not true. There's nothing as such. There's nothing as such. There are forensic accesses that these people have to see everything about you. All right. So quickly, let's look at the positive sides of all of these things, and then I will now give us the negative aspects so that we can guard ourselves. Because a lot of people have been croned in addictions because of algorithm, and a lot of people are growing because of algorithm. So it's a double-edged sword. The Bible says in the book of Hebrews 4:12 that the word of the Lord is a double-edged sword. So are all of these things. They are double-edged. They have a positive angle and a negative angle. So down to the importance of this algorithm. Algorithm can actually boost your learning curve. All right, your learning curve can be advanced. Your learning curve can be increased. Because when you choose the right kind of things that you begin to see, it affects your learning curve. You begin to learn fast, because the more you behold, there's a song we sing, we behold until we are formed. The more you behold these things, you see these things, you are being cultured. There's a transformation that happens. So let me say, for example, you are into business and you are following somebody like let me use for example Mr. Emeka Nobis. Yeah, he's a businessman, he's an entrepreneur, and post I define contents in line with businesses and thriving on the online space. All right, and you keep seeing some of these contents. Truth be told, your life will begin to change. Your learning curve begins to increase. All right, so that is one of the importance of the algorithm, because it will begin to suggest those kind of content to you. Okay, now in your Instagram, for example, you see things like shots from Apostle Aaron side. Now that is going to be sparking your spirit, because any little seconds you listen, most of these shots are just 30 seconds, at most 1 minute. That 1 minute is enough to impact something to your spirit, so your learning curve begins to grow. Secondly, your professional growth. I already touched that. It begins to thrive. For example, I mentioned things that have to do with business. Okay, let me say for you, you're also having content like from persons like Mr. Vusi Tembekwayo is a South African businessman and is a conch believer. Now, let's say for example you are following such kind of person in the business field. Now, it's going to increase your professional growth. You are going to become epic and distinct in what you do, because these kinds of person are directly impacting your life. You don't only get physical mentors, we now have virtual mentors. All right, the virtual world is very large, so what you get on the online space directly transform your life. That is the power of the algorithm. It gives you professional growth. And the last I will be mentioning is advertising. One of the importance of algorithm is it helps you advertise. That means when you advertising your products or you run ads for others. Now that's another important aspect that I want to talk about. If you can narrow down your time as much as few weeks or months and you learn how to use these advertising models in the social media, which works directly with algorithm, you can begin to make chunks of money from it, because people run ads to make sure that their businesses get into the face of people. And like I mentioned, we are not paying anything for these social media handles, but you are paying with your attention. Yes, your attention is the currency with which you are buying. So bringing these goods and services to the faces of people is an importance. All right. So why is it necessary that we know and understand these things as MC Fight? Number one is so that we can be able to break the negatives that are associated with this algorithm, which I'll be mentioning shortly. To break these negatives. And two, so that we can rise up as positive content creators. Every one of us, there is a word God has given you to share. And in our world today, everything is coming to to the virtual world, the virtual space. All right. What that means is the rich, the unreached, you cannot reach physically. You cannot reach them through the wider space. Yes, yes. I want to tell you that your status, you think that you are just posting things, do things in one way or the other and make direct impact to people. So I see some people post some things and I come and ask them, why are you doing this thing? Why are you posting such kind of thing? They say, it doesn't matter. See, it matters. It matters. There's one understanding I got recently, and I think I'm going to mention that before I go to the disadvantages. Is is part of the disadvantage actually is a time is coming, and we are currently in that phase when everybody will be judged by their digital CV. What do I mean? Every one of us are going to be checked by our digital curriculum vitae. That means the kind of things your algorithm suggests will determine your viability in the professional sphere, in the market industries. A lot of people are going to be losing jobs because of the kind of things they do on the online space. You don't just come online and you begin to post things, or maybe you see people placing comments anyhow. No, those things are forming a curriculum vitae. It's forming something I call a digital CV. I've applied for jobs where they will ask you to paste your social media handles. Yes, they will ask you to put it. Some of them will say optional, but some will not say optional. You have to place it. Now, those things are qualifiers whether you will receive that job offer or not. Why? They will need to check your track record. And let me shock you that you cannot delete your metadata. No. Once captured by the algorithm, is stored in the databases. You know, some people you post in your status, you say you deleted it. You've not. Yes, at least GB WhatsApp those times taught us that you can delete things and the other person can see it. Now that is just a tips of the iceberg to what happens behind the scene. So algorithms are very powerful. Even when you post pictures and you delete it, you post things you edit. Don't you see the one that is showing edited? It means that there was something there before that was changed, and it is stored. These things are stored in bytes. They are stored in databases, large models that don't get filled up. So I want to ask you a question, even as we're entering to the last phase of what we are looking at. What is your CV like becoming? I know you have wonderful CVs in your paper. Yes, I know you have good certifications, job experiences, good references and all that. But how about your digital sphere? What are you building? As I'm telling you this, is because it's a big wake up call that will begin to sanitize. Even if you may have not been doing it intentionally, you can begin now to create a positive track record that will be relevant for you in the time to come. So I want you to look at these things and make sure that you intentionally build them. Because if you are going to be going far in life, then you must begin now to see far. The Bible, God was speaking to Abraham and he told him, let him look at the skies, let him count the stars. As far, as much as he can be able to count. A time came, he was showing him the lands, and he said, as far as your eyes can see. So these things are intentional things we begin to do. And God is depending on MCFight that will bring a paradigm shift to what is happening in the digital sphere. All right. So there is something called the digital CV. It is taking tracks of everything you post, the kind of conversations you engage, the kind of meetings you attend. You know, we have a lot of WhatsApp groups. The kind of meetings you attend, the kind of comments you place on content. You can see people coming, you see people on comment section, they'll be bantering, talking about maybe an influential person. No. You don't stoop that low to the comment section and be doing so. No. There are other things that are worth your time. I want you to begin to think from that sphere. Yes, the other thing that is worth your time, because you know that you've understood your algorithm. You know that what you are doing is creating a track record. So you don't just do it like every other person. No, they may not know as much, but at least now you know. Begin to build your digital CV, because that is how people that makes the real things. So I don't want us to be those that our attentions will be bought. In as much as we are given, let it be that those attention you are given as a currency, you are receiving value out of it, both present value and future value. So algorithm is powerful. Is powerful. Is powerful. And I want you today, even if you don't get anything from this today, know that there is a digital CV you are building. Your Instagram is building a CV. Your WhatsApp status, I know they say it disappears in 24 hours. Do you notice of recent now that if you want to post status, they can return to you some status you have posted before and ask you to post it? But it's the same people that told you that your status disappears in 24 hours. Where is the lie? Where is the truth? I am telling you that your data are stored. Yes. How many of you have noticed that your Facebook can remind you an event you posted 2 years ago? Eh? The same Facebook that you think you have forgotten what you have posted has gone? No. There are large databases that stores these metadata. There are large databases that stores these metadata. So quickly, I'm going to be going further to the disadvantages of algorithm. The first disadvantage is you are susceptible to addiction. And let me tell you, these models thrive very well because of the dopamine loops they release. What is dopamine? Dopamine is a how do I explain it now? Is like, oh my God, what word will I use to explain it? These are body agents that are released. They are in form of just the way we have adrenaline in the body. Dopamines are enzymes in the body that are released that it gives you happiness, it gives you relaxation, it makes you feel happy. Yes, that's dopamine. Yeah, so is a fluid in the body. It's associated with feeling of happiness and satisfaction. Now, a lot of people face addiction in different ways. Some people have addiction in pornography. Some people have addictions in sexual immorality. They just do it and they feel satisfied. Now, that is what dopamine does in the body. Now, a person can become addicted to the algorithm because of the dopamine loop they receive. Have you not noticed that you can stay, you, me, you now that I'm talking to you, you can stay on your phone for a long time and you not feel tired? Yes, you'll be there. You'll not feel tired. But once either your phone runs low or your data finishes, you will feel a form of exhaustion. You'll be exhausted to your bones and marrow. So does it mean that the tiredness has been packed somewhere? No. The thing is, you are receiving a dopamine release. You are feeling satisfied. You are staying longer. You are staying longer. So that is craving to form an addiction. Why I'm telling you this is because I've been in that sphere of addiction before, and I understand how these things are. Yes, I understand how it is. So we need to begin to understand the algorithm. Some persons, because of their addictions, like I was telling you of somebody I saw, and they are now clung to pornography. Because from one content, you now see it. Do you notice every comedy now is pornographic? These things are cultured into the algorithm. Cultures are being shaped. Yes, musics are shaping culture. I don't know if you understand, but everything in the now are shifting culture. You don't Movies are not just released because they are released. No, every movie that is released, down from Hollywood, the Philippine films, down to Nollywood and all of that, those things are direct culture shaping mechanism. Do you notice that Nigerian movies are more of family riots and romantic relationships? All those things are shaping culture. That's why a little child from small can begin to develop a wrong sense. Do you notice that languages and slangs are controlled by movies? Those things are intentional culture shaping. So I want you to begin to think like the elites. I want you to begin to think like people that are at the top. Let's not just use these devices because we have them at our beck and call. No, you are actually using it with a punch of your blood. So you need to do it intentionally. You need to do it intentionally. So addiction, and that is my major sphere. So maybe some of you after this call, it will be an assignment of two things. One, to begin to clean and streamline your algorithm for the next years. As long as it will take, don't bother. It is very hard to change, to build up things, but very easy to pull down things. Yes. So maybe your algorithm have been shattered. A lot of irrelevant things you don't want to see. You can begin to train the model. You can begin to train it. It may not be 100% correct, but you can be seeing 90% accuracy, that you see what you want to see. Yes. So maybe after this call, you are going to be sitting down and choose the kind of things you want to be intentional about seeing. Choose the kind of persons you need to be intentional. Things that surround your spiritual life, down to your professional life, and the kind of person you want to become in the future. And then begin to follow those kind of people and unfollow the wrong and begin to unfollow the wrong accounts. So their addictions are real. And if these things continue, our attention span is reduced. Now, YouTube is the largest university ever. There are a lot of things I'm doing today that nobody taught me, and I'm using to get some finances because I went to YouTube and I learned some of these things. Yes, yes. So there are a lot of things you can get access to. But if you play the low game where your attention is bought, and Facebook makes money because the advertisers pay them. Yes, YouTube, they pay them for all those adverts you are seeing, they pay them, and you are not the product, they are selling you, and you are not being developed, you are not in the game, then it is the wrong place to be. So, beloved, as I'll be rounding up, I want you to know that we should no longer be at the base of the pyramid. No, we are supposed to be at the apex, people that think higher than the normal persons. This message may not be for everybody, but there is actually somebody that needs to break out of the bounds and begin to take strategic, intentional decisions. Steps in line with where you want to go and where you want to be. Because the future belongs to people that takes decisions in the right directions. So I don't know what your decision is going to be, but there's a positive side to the algorithm. Your learning curve can shift. Your professional life can be developed. Your life can be changed. I've met some persons on the online space that physically I couldn't have met them. Yes, I've entered some circles I may not, but because the virtual world has given us an opening, you have access to rooms. You can advertise your product. You can begin to learn advertising. There are ways you can learn advertising. There's something that's called Meta Blueprint. You can search that out after the class. Meta Blueprint is a free course by Facebook where you learn how to advertise with with Facebook, how to run ads. And if you understand these things, you can begin to run ads for businesses and charge them for it. Yes, there's another one by Google, the one you can advertise on YouTube. And now Meta now is the new name for Mark Zuckerberg's group of company. Mark Zuckerberg is the founder of Facebook. He now owns Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram. Maybe you don't know. It is Mark Zuckerberg that owns these top three social media handles. Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram is owned by Mark Zuckerberg. They are Meta. They are now called Meta as a group of company managing the two. He bought it from these persons and is using them to make billions of dollars. A very young entrepreneur. Yes. And he's using my attention and your attention to make money. Don't you know that sometimes they can just bring trivial issues, just join heads together and they'll be talking, and he's making his money. And Nigerians are there. Mostly, I don't know why I'm using Nigeria, because we are in Nigeria. And Nigerians should be there, we'll be bantering ourselves. And you think what you are saying is relevant. Nobody cares. Oh. And the money that I make is not even from the data subscription you are using. No. Data subscription is on a global sphere. It's just a payment everybody does for accessing the internet. It's not as if someone somewhere is milking it. No. There's actually a way they make money. And that is what I'm telling you through adverts. It's not as if Mark Zuckerberg is making money for your data. No. The only platform that does that extensively is YouTube. Yes. So YouTube makes money from the watch time you stay, those watch times, watch hours. It counts to what they used to gain revenue. But their major revenue, I must tell you today, I want us to begin to think higher, not just like a normal person. Just think as if you are in the field, because truly we are culture shapers too. So the major chunk of money they make is still from the advertising model. And all of these are controlled by algorithm. So that is where they make their chunks for. So as we be closing tonight, I want to show us how to culture our algorithm as we be closing tonight. And I want you to make up your mind intentionally. Make up your mind intentionally to see that you make the most of every opportunity that will be surfacing. All right. So I'm going to be doing that quickly. I'm going to be using my Facebook as an example. And please let me know if you can see my screen. Don't take time, just short moment. Can you see my? Let me know if you are seeing there. Can you see my screen? All right. Thank you very much. All right. So the first way to culture our algorithm, I'm going to start with our reels. All right. These are Facebook stories or reels. All right. Let me say for example, okay. Let me say for example. Now, let me say I don't want to see this person now. I don't know what he's pointing at though, but I know the person. Let me look for someone I don't know. So okay, let me use this one. Now let me say this is something I don't want to see. Very simple. What you need to do, what this for me, this here, and then you ask you, you just say mute. I don't know if you saw what I did. So you just click on it. Once you click on that, you click on these three dots and then say mute, and then mute him. That's all. You will not be seeing that content. Such persons has gone out. You will not be seeing that person's content. Okay, let me say for example, I don't want to see this person. I just click and click mute. That's all. That's all. All right. So it's going to take you time. So you can see that person has gone completely. You can't see such person again around your stories again. All right. So that is what you are going to do. I want you to follow your Facebook intentionally and mute whatever I don't want to see. So it may take time, but you are building, you are shaping your culture, you are now doing what you are now seeing what you want to see. So another one, let me say now this kind of videos you are seeing here is very difficult to correct. These reels is very difficult. Even when you stop them, when you say hide, it may not hide. All right, it will not. These ones are very, very stubborn. So this is where it calls for your personal discipline as not to click some of these things because they will pollute your mind. in the wrong way. All right. So this one calls for intentional action. Now let me look for let me see something I don't want to see again. Um okay. What do I use now? What do I use now? Let me say, for example, this thing now I'm seeing here now. You know, this is an advert now. All right, you can see learn more. I see in learn more. They are paid Facebook to advertise. You see, once you click it, it takes you to their page. So all of these things are what they used to make money, massive money, as you are seeing. This thing is now an advert. Learn more. All right. So what you are going to do is you still click on these three dots. I'm sorry, the call is coming in. All right, we'll soon be done. Um. All right. So the same thing. You click on these three dots. Sorry, my network is low, but it's going to be the same thing. Once on this, it's open up shares. Now this is high, for example. That is an ad. That's why it's saying this. You can just say, choose a thing, irrelevant, and tell them that see that ad has this. All right, disappeared. Now that's what you are going to do for all of your handles. Both YouTube does the same thing. YouTube does the same thing. All right. YouTube does the same thing. So because of time, I will not necessarily go to YouTube to see show us this thing I did. But with this example I've given you, you have to follow anything you see you don't want. Make sure you click and say you don't want to see it. Click and say you don't want to see it. Just be doing that. It may take you 4 months, 1 year. Who cares? Just do it to make sure your life is ordered. So you can see from my own Facebook, for example, it's things that I want to see that are there, especially in the post. These are things that I follow. That's why you see them there. So it doesn't just happen. So the same thing with my YouTube. If I open my YouTube, you're going to see a lot of things according to what I do. So I mentioned the first 5 to 10 things you see every day on your social media are what you are going to be becoming. So finally, I want you to go back and introspect. Create the discipline to make sure that the things you don't want to see, you don't click them. Even those ones that appear like the reels I show you, you need to be a personal discipline. The Bible speaking in Daniel chapter 1 verse 8, it said Daniel purported in his heart that's not going to defile himself with the portion of the king's meat. So sometimes the portion of the king's meat are not physical food, they are decisions. They are decisions, they are interactions that will soil our spiritual experiences. So I hope to see every one of us at the top as God trusts and commits eternal matters to our hands and see that we do not fail Him in everything that we do. So thank you very much for being available for tonight's session. There is more, but as time goes on, we trust God that we are going to be delving deep. But don't forget that you are building one, a digital CV, and two, everything that you are seeing controls what you are becoming. So know that your reactions, all right, okay, thank you very much. I'm going to mention phonics now. Okay, know that your reactions to things that you watch are very important. Now, let me answer your question. Sorry, I did not even give us time to ask question, but thank you for bringing that question. Now, for me, I see it categorically. Anyone that has phonics in their phone, actually, hmm, is to me as though you are in a ditch. Why do I mention? It's not to be rude or something, but I see it as though you are hindering yourself a lot. Why? I ask some persons, why do you have phonics? They say it allows them to read. Okay? It allows them to read PDF. There are tons of PDF applications you can download. One of them is Adobe Reader. Adobe Reader is a good. I have it here. Adobe Reader is a good what is it called? A good PDF reader you can get. So someone recently was telling me when I saw it on his phone, I was like, hi, he wants to stop using his phone because of all of these things, because of what he sees. This is Adobe Reader here, and download the Adobe Reader, right? So Adobe Reader reads all your PDF. So he was telling me, no, that he uses it for that it downloads fast. I just smiled, I laughed. He was after a long time. I don't know what led to something. He began to bring out the matter again. And I told you this thing, I can stop it. You see, it cannot work. I now pick the phone and disable it. That's the only thing you can do. Phonics is now embedded with phone. That's why I told you these things are culture. They are culture. It is now embedded in phones. Some of these phones, especially if you're buying techno phones, in Phoenix phones, you're going to be seeing Phoenix as a default application that cannot be uninstalled. So the only thing you need to do, I don't have Phoenix here, I would have shown you how to do it, but I'm going to explain it and see if you can get it. The only thing you need to do is disable Phoenix. Anything you say you are doing with Phoenix, look for an alternative. If it's PDF, get a good PDF reader. Adobe Reader is one of them. Number two, you can get Allowed. There's one they call Allowed. Allowed is a PDF reader. It reads for you self. It can read out PDF aloud for you. You can play it. It's called Art Aloud. If you search it on Google Play. Another one is Pocketbook. Pocketbook is a PDF reader. It can read books for you. Adobe reads book too. So you don't have an excuse. Then for your downloader, use your Chrome. Yes, use your Chrome. Me, one of the applications that does like like Phoenix for me is Vidmate. But once I download what I want to download, I go back to my phone and watch it. You understand? If not, it shows pornographic content though. But once I download what I want to download, that's all. I escape. And this one can even allow you close ads. But Phoenix is completely deadly. It's a culture. They know what they are doing. They know what they are doing very, very well. So that is what I would say about that, because that's the only way out of Phoenix. So how to disable Phoenix is you click on Phoenix, hold it. When you hold on Phoenix, and don't be afraid, when you disable it, your files will not go. It's a lie. Some people will tell me that yeah, your files will go. It's a lie. They are on your file manager. Everything you are seeing in Phoenix is inside your file manager. If you go and search it, you'll see there. Yes, you see that when you start using all of this Adobe Allow, they will also arrange your stuff for you, all right? They will arrange it for you so you can easily access it. So to disable Phoenix, you hold on to it steadily and it will show you option to disable. So if that doesn't work, you can reach out to me. I trust God to see how I can help guide you on how to do that too. So if you hold on it, it's supposed to disable when you hold it, but if it doesn't, just reach out. I'll see how to help you disable that. So thank you very much, everybody. I don't know if there's any other person that have a question. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank God I was able to answer that. Any question? But Sunday, thank you so much for being around. But Moses, God bless you real good. Thank you very, very much. So, do we have any question? Okay. All right. But Sunday, can you say hello to us so we can hear your voice a bit before we close? But Sunday, are you there? All right. All right. So, we are going to be praying right now, and we are going to pray basically two prayer points very shortly. One is we are going to be speaking over MCF. We're going to be speaking over MCF. Thank you very much, sir. God bless you, bro Moses. We're going to be speaking over MCF. So I want you to intentionally open your mouth and begin to pray for MCF and talk to the Lord. A lot of people are caught in this web, but it's unfortunate that many are not here, and the addiction is holding them down, crippling them, and they don't know a way out. So I want you to pray that the Lord will cause the scale to fall out of everyone that is addicted to anything in one way or the other. Can you open your mouth and begin to talk to the Lord? I want you to pray for MCF. I want you to talk to the Lord briefly. The next few moments, can we make prophetic decrees over their life? Lord, we ask that you redeem every MC5 that is caught in any form web of addiction whatsoever. Zende veresaila kabaranta fela kabaro salatwa. Lord, we ask that you redeem, break the yoke, break the yoke. Oh my God, let your redemption be released upon them. We believe you, Holy Ghost. We believe you, faithful God. We give you glory. Can you also open your mouth and pray for yourself, asking the Lord that you will not be manipulated in any way. You are going to stand out exceptionally. Can you pray for yourself? Or maybe there's an addiction whatsoever in any form. Can you talk to the Lord briefly in the next few seconds? Lord, redeem me. Break that yoke. Break that yoke. Can you pray? Can you pray? Lord, we trust you to bring redemption into our life. Break every yoke, every manipulation of the enemy. Jateka sabaranta fanaman sabinantos kabalagadaya. Jivre desa saminantos kabinakantiga savida hadivelatwa maru savinante. In Jesus' mighty name we are prayed. In Jesus' mighty name we are prayed. All right, I call on bro Sunday. Please round up the prayer in the next 1 minute. Amen. 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 Wow. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful. I don't take it for granted. All right. So I want every one of us, please, you will help me. What you are going to do is type out everything you learned from this class and send to every MCF group. Why you are doing that is so that they will know that there is a lot God is planning for us and He can actually save a life. So just write out as much as you can of what you learned and then send to the group so that it can also bless the other person next year. Thank you very much, Sister Comfort. I love you all. Thank you so much, Bro Sunday. I love you very much, Bro Moses. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you so much. All right. All right. Good night, everyone.